Bryan had just bought his first house. It was an older two-story house without air conditioning. Bryan was not worried about cooling the home on warm days, as the salesperson who sold him the house assured him that the whole house fan in the second-floor hall ceiling would do a great job of cooling the home down. These types of fans were commonly used in the days before AC. They are located most often in a second-floor hallway ceiling. When turned on, these large fans, usually 3-foot square, act like a giant vacuum cleaner and suck the air out of the house. Considered noisy by some, they often sound like a small airplane propeller when operating. A small price to pay for a cool home. When the first hot day of summer arrived, Bryan was ready to try his whole house fan out. When he turned on the fan, he could feel the air being sucked into the attic by the rapidly whirring fan. "This is going to work great," he thought. Having a little breeze in your house is wonderful on a hot day. Later in the day, after working in the yard, Bryan takes a shower. Alas, there is no hot water. He did not realize that when you turn on a whole house fan, you must open a few windows, so the house does not depressurize. So what happened is that when he turned on the real house fan, the sucking action caused by the fan operation sucked the air out of the bottom of the hot water tank and blew out the pilot light. The gas could not go on in the hot water tank with no pilot light. Basic physics tells us every action has an equal and opposite reaction. He ended up with no hot water sporadically over the next few days. Every time this happened, he had to go into the basement and relight the pilot light to have hot water. It was frustrating because he did not realize the correlation between the fan being turned on and the pilot going off. Now, there's a little door at the bottom of the hot water tank called the flame-out cover, which must be removed when you light a pilot light. As its name implies, it prevents gas flames from entering the living space when the gas water tank is operating. One day, Bryan got sloppy and did not put the flame-out cover back onto the hot water tank after he relighted the pilot light. Well, we all know what is going to happen next. It was another hot day, so Bryan decided to shower. Before he did that, he turned on the whole house fan. As he was washing his hair, he heard a strange noise from the basement. Suddenly, he smelled smoke, and the entire house was filled with thick black smoke when he opened the bathroom door. Panic set in, and he quickly realized that there was a fire in the basement. Bryan quickly grabs a fire extinguisher and runs to the basement naked. He sees that the fire has started near the water heater, which, incidentally, had garbage bags resting on it. The flames were spreading, and he knew he must act fast. Thankfully, he put out the fire before it caused too much damage, but the experience left him shaken. After the incident, Bryan talks to a plumber who explains the need to open windows when the whole house fan is operating. He realizes that using a whole house fan requires some precautions to use it safely. From then on, he keeps some windows open while the whole house fan is in use. He also never leaves garbage next to the water heater. As a special precaution, he turns off the fan before going to bed or leaving the house. He also starts saving for an air conditioning system. This story comes from many sources on the Jim and Marko show. For Amazon books published by Marko Vovk, go to the link in the comments section. Please rate and subscribe, and if you buy the book, please give me a good review.